Alright folks, we've got a good one for you today. Two main series villains and a special guest. What more could you want? Today we have Alduin, World Eater, maybe, firstborn of Akatosh, versus Dagoth, a man who stood against the living gods themselves and is one of the most, let's say, loved characters in the Elder Scrolls. So, Alduin led the dragon cult in ancient times, where he essentially enslaved most of the mortals in his domain. In the end, it was only through the power of an Elder Scroll that he was bested. However, it only ended up sending him forward in time to the 4th era, where he began resurrecting his fellow dragons and devouring the souls of the dead in Sovngarde. At the end of the events of Skyrim, he was bested by the last Dragonborn and a handful of ancient Nord heroes from the Hall of Valor. However, unlike most dragons, his soul was not absorbed. Prophecy surrounding Alduin says he is to eat the world to usher in the next one. So what about Dagoth, you ask? Well, let's ask the Morrowind man himself.
So Dagoth, also known as Vorin Dagoth in life, and whom Vivek will later come... You know what, I'm reading this from the wiki. I'm not going to read it from the wiki. I'm just going to think of Dagoth's history on my own, because I'm a grown man. So Dagoth was essentially this fella with chiseled abs and a gold mask. So if you have both of those, anyone will listen to you, including gods, so they just made him a god. His main goal was to drive the Empire out of Morrowind. He also has this big thing called a Kulikan who just chills out in the back. I think he's important to lore, but I don't know, he's just a big skeleton thing that hangs out. He wanted to free the land of the cursed false gods. Apparently people are convinced he's pretty charismatic. Oh yeah, Kulikan's a god. So Dagoth essentially wants to unite the Dunmer, free the land of the cursed false gods. He just hangs out in Red Mountain and sends out sleepers and dreamers to do his bidding. And the job of the dreamers is to just stop you on the street and give you a bit of a spook through long paragraphs of exposition. It's very well detailed. It's a great way to tell a story. It scares me every time. So essentially, as Nerevar, you get a bunch of tools from Vivek. He actually does something useful. He gives you a raid card and you have to get Sunder and Keening yourself, and then you can take down Dagoth. There's my short summary of the Morrowind story. I hope you liked it.
So, the verdict. Who wins here? Well, if you want the boring answer, Alduin. If he's really gonna end existence one day, you can't really beat that. However, if we're just going for a slug match, pound for pound, who can hit the hardest, yeah, it's probably still Alduin. Sure, being able to dream yourself into existence is cool and all, but I don't think Dagoth is powerful enough to combat the Thu'um, especially coming from him being so powerful. Plus, even if Alduin did die, he'll probably just come back anyway. He has a bit of a track record for it. Anyway folks, that's all from me today. What are your thoughts? Leave them down below. Big thanks to Micky for being part of this one. Super cool dude. If you haven't checked out his stuff, you absolutely should. He's fantastic. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.